All right, good morning, folks. This is beginning of my sous vide tutorial. Just going over some equipment first. Uh, right here, we have the sous vide stick. This is actually your water circulator. That actually is what controls everything. That's what you buy. That's what you're going to get. If you look down there, it looks almost like a pool circulator. This is a vacuum sealer. Vacuum sealer is not necessary. You can use Ziploc bags and use like a water displacement method. But the term sous vide is a French term and it means under vacuum. So you do want to have a huge elimination of air. I like the vac sealer because I buy a lot of meat. I like to keep it fresh. I like to keep it from spoiling and going frozen. So I vac seal all my stuff as soon as I get it home. In fact, I'm going to be vac sealing some $5.99 ribeyes I got from ShopRite this morning. And I will be cooking those in the sous vide momentarily. This is a container. You do not need a container like this with the lid. You can just use a pot. I like the container because it keeps the water from evaporating and it keeps your water level from going too low. Especially if you're doing longer cooks, if you're cooking like a brisket over like a day and a half, 2 days, you probably are going to want the lid. If you're just cooking a steak for a couple hours, you're not going to have the evaporation, and it's not going to be like absolutely necessary. But I like the container and the lid. I still use the container and the lid whenever I use my steaks. I don't take the lid off. I change the water out maybe once a week. Alright, so I will edit back in with the next clip. Okay, yeah, guys, so something I do, as soon as I get home from the store, I season up all of the steaks I bought before I even vac seal them. As I said, you don't need the vac sealer. I have the vac sealer, I use it. If you do have a vac sealer, I recommend you use it. If you don't eat meat that often that you don't need a vac sealer, then what's called. I'm not going to tell you to run out and buy one. You can definitely do sous vide with Ziploc bags and using like water to push out all the air and seal it up. Okay, guys, as you can see, I have the sous vide plugged in now. That display's all illuminated. Mine is an Innova. I don't know what brand you have, but you'll be able to figure out how to work it. I can change the temperature. I'm going to cook mine to 127. I could also change this all with the app, but I like the dial right here. It's simple. I don't really use the app much. Alright, just wanted to show you that. And I'm going to start it so it can heat, because it shows my current temperature. That water's 64 degrees right now. And we want that water to get up to 127 degrees, so it cooks exactly to 127 degrees. It'll come up a little bit more when I sear, but hopefully I'll have a perfect medium steak. For me, medium. If you like yours medium rare, you may want to set your temperature lower, or sear it less. But for me, I like mine medium. That's the temperature I want it. That's the beautiful thing with this thing. You can't overcook your steak. It cooks it to a precision temperature. You're gonna have it exact. All right, guys. I'll catch you in with the next step. All right. Now that we've come to temperature, we just simply lift the lid, throw our steak in, make sure it's down completely submerged. If you've got all the air out, it will stay submerged. You don't need anything to hold it down. If you didn't do such a good job of getting all the air out, you might need to put something over it to make sure it stays underwater. And we're going to let it sit at this temperature for about 2.5 maybe 3 hours. I don't know. It depends on when I get back. I got to make a couple errands with my wife. And by the time I get back, I'll be ready to eat. So I'll see you guys then. Alright, so your next steps when you're ready to take the steak out of the water bath. You want to, get your searing method, whether it be a cast iron pan like I'm using now, a grill outside, whatever. You want to crank it up to high heat, get it nice and ready, and get ready to sear. Alright, I'm about to turn the sous vide off and pull this sucker out of the water bath. Let me open this up, cut the plastic open, and get you down to the next step. Right, so now that I have this on a plate and out of the bag, what you want to do is you want to take some paper towels here, and hold on, I got to set you guys down for a second because I only have one hand. But you want to pat these dry, and here's a few towels. I've seen another method of putting it in the fridge uncovered for about 10 minutes to take the moisture out of it, to take the moisture off to get a good sear. I don't know, I've never tried it. I may try it in the future. I'm used to just using the paper towel, kind of blotting that excess moisture off. Alright, so after you blot them dry, that's what it'll look like. They don't look the best like this, but let's go. We're going to get ready to put this in. Alright, sorry guys, I had to get this into the pan. Got some butter in here to sear it. We're going to go about 90 seconds on each side. But you also don't have to necessarily do the cast iron pan. You could do it out on the grill. You just want a good sear to give it that good crust on the outside. As you can see, we seared. We got one side. Probably didn't get the best contact on the one side, but that's good enough for me. And we're just waiting. This bad boy will be ready to plate in a second. Here we go, finished product. Let me cut into this bad boy, show you guys the inside, and take a bite. I know it's going to be good already, but let you guys know how it came out. There we go. Came out medium the way I like it. And it is absolutely delicious. Alright guys, sorry for the shaky camera. I was trying to do this from my cell phone, taking video, and cook all at the same time. I'm an amateur, man. I'm not any kind of professional. But I know how to use the sous vide, and hopefully this guy gives you guys a little bit of comfortability using it. Alright? Have a good one. Peace out.